Hello, good morning. How are you all doing today? And hello, Xanax. Um, and hello, Asitsu. How are you? All right, so I think uh, everything we have with like the mic and everything else is set up correctly. So I think we're good to go, and everything is happy there. So we don't have to. I don't think we have to worry about the mic anymore. So now we get to start working on a new project. You're still in WordPress land, so you can probably guess. You're pressing the words. I mean, yeah, there's not really much to say besides I'm sorry. I hope it pays well. Those are usually like contract type jobs, right? I've never actually worked professionally in WordPress before. I've like set one up like as an experimentation for, a few times, but I've never actually like done any real work in one. Okay, so let us jump into today's plan project thingy. So last week we did an exploration where we took a look at the Twitch event API, which is known as Helix, and we got that working. We had an experimentation project which allowed us to see a redemption, which is great. Now, what I want to do is I want to turn that into a real project that will do something to my screen, to my computer. When you redeem something, specifically, I want to update it so that way when you redeem, like change the Helix theme, it changes the Helix theme. So there's going to be a couple different parts of this project. So we're going to have, let's say, we'll have the actual like event listener, right? So we have the Twitch Helix API. I call it a wrapper, but it's really like, listener. That's going to be over here. And then I'm going to have my other project over here, which is going to listen to that and then dispatch. So this is going to be like the app. This is the controller, I guess, the manager. So we'll call this like Stream Interactivity Manager. That's a good working title for it, right? And then we're gonna have a bunch of I haven't really decided what to call these. Strategies? Should we call them stratagems? Just little functions, something like that. I don't know. Albert, hello. How are you doing today? So then in here for strategies, like the first one is going to be like change Helix theme. And we can add more of them too. Thank you for that. That's the chat display from Restream, which has been working out pretty well for us. An example of a second one that we could put in here would be something like change terminal font, something like that. I'm doing pretty good. It's the thing that I was hoping to be able to get that's been delayed until June, so I won't really know anything about that until then, which is why it's perfectly fine to start a project like this now. And other than that, like things are going pretty well. I signed up for a meetup talk tomorrow. I'm gonna be doing a lightning talk at the Denver Script meetup about Helix. I signed up yesterday. So tomorrow, instead of streaming, I'm going to figure that out and actually work on the talk. I think it's going to be streamed. So when I have the link and everything else, I'll share that into the Discord. So yeah, this is going to be the plan. So you're going to send One Direction messages. It's not how it works. I want this one, don't I? You're going to send single direction messages. I want this one. From the Twitch Helix API listener over here, probably via a channel. This is going to then call one of these things to, I mean, those are fine. We'll do that arrow, slightly different style. The interactivity manager will call these scripts, these programs, via a command, because they're going to be completely separate. They run once and then they're done. And so the other idea is that these will all be in their own threads. So if I want to make that a little bit more obvious, can I no fill and a border like that? Sure. These all run in their own threads here. Which is not going to be just basic async await. In Rust, when we want to do a thread, this is actually going to be like a thread spawn. I believe that's what it is, right? Thread spawn. And then they'll be sort of like in their own, and so we'll spawn this one, it'll run, and it'll be just done. It'll close off, the thread will close, and we're good with that. This one, the thread will never close. It'll just be there constantly, that we're just running in the background. So a bunch of things for us to do to make this work, and a bunch of different places that we can potentially start with this. I'm actually thinking that each of these could be their own repos, essentially, because they don't need to be together, do they? And really what I want to do, if they are Rust, I could deploy this out to crates and then run them that way. Otherwise, I would probably just have them as commands on my computer and then run them through paths and just use the command. But I think that'll be fine. So I'm not actually sure I want to start with Stream Interactivity Manager. We kind of sort of have something like this, but I want to rewrite it and make it a little bit nicer and better. We can also start with one of the strategies and make sure that this works the way we want it to, and that we can actually do it properly, which I'm thinking about starting here. So to begin with, is there anything in, well, I guess maybe before we even go there, let's take a look at Helix. The Helix config. So inside of here, we can see that we have that Idwata dark. But this is also Tamil. And I think I can update Tamil with an import. Although I did do that with Alacrity. Yeah, so I have this where I have alacrity.toml and then a font.toml. And so if we take a look at that, I have this import, and then I just grab this in. So I kind of want to see if I can do that. So first off, if I were to make a change here, let's say we go to just Adwaita. If I save view, nothing changes. But if I think it was pkill usr1 helix, that restarts Helix essentially. Like it config refreshes that. Now I want to see if I can do this. Do an import. Okay, so I want to create a new file. I'm going to touch this as theme.toml. Okay. What did I do? Oh, I deleted it. Okay. Delete you. There. That's what I wanted to do. I forgot how to Helix for a minute. Okay, so if I just put theme Adwaita in there, let's put this back into Adwaita dark. In here, I then wanted to do a import equals. And then you're going to be theme.toml. Okay. So do you work? Oh, you have to go. I wonder if I do have to do that. Let's try this first. So if I pkill, failed to load config. Okay, so it doesn't like that. No. Okay, failed to load config. Okay, so that import is something as I'm guessing not part of toml. That's something Alacrity lets us do, but not with Helix, which is too bad. Okay, so that's how we can. Okay, so I need a different way. So I can't just update that one file, which would be make it easier and a little bit safer, but whatever. I want to maybe sed. It's been a while since I've used sed, so I'm basically going to command. So append the editing command specified by the command argument to the list of commands. Do I want? Yeah, probably. And I believe I want the regular expressions, and I believe they also have some examples. Okay, yeah, replace bar with baz when piped from another command. Yeah, so we have the file. We're going to sed substitute bar with baz. And I believe that just does. Oh, there's one of the commands is for write in place, which I forget what that is. Okay, so if we do sed, I guess like what we do is one of them is for also a file, right? Not a command file. Oh, just a file right here. Oh, it's the -I without creating a backup of the file. Okay. So backup of the file is a good idea. I do have one though in my, yeah, I do have one in my GitHub, so I'm fine there. All right, so we're gonna try sed. Let's not do the -I, so it does create the backup file. And I want the command, which I can't remember if I need like the -E for commander or not. So we're just gonna try the command right away. That's gonna be substitute. Dedication, hello. How are you doing today? Am I making my own Twitch API unifier? Not really, no. There's actually a couple of those. We're going to use one for that. What I want to do is I want to listen to channel notification events and then do something with it. And specifically, I want to change this theme to make it so like, okay, instead of like Idwata dark, somebody can say, hey, just make it Idwata, for example. But there's a few things we need to do, like what we need to obviously listen for that when that happens, but also have a script that actually does the thing. So that's what today is about. Okay, so if I do something like this, theme equals, I want to replace the entire line, don't I? And then change it. Which how do I do at a line at a time? That's like a it's not a G. G is global. Oh, because I don't know what this is going to be. So I can find the line with this. That finds the line, but I don't think I want substitute. Because then the other thing that I want to switch it to is like, let's say we just do hello world like that. And then a file name would be config.toml. Unterminated substitute. Oh, do you need to be terminated here too? Yes, that replaced hello world, but we still have the Idwita dark. So I need to remember sed replace line. Can you just do a set inside of Helix? That way the change isn't permanent. Yes, I could do that, but that's manual intervention, which that's what we're trying to avoid right now. Also, hello Stacking. How are you doing today? Oh, I could grab the current one, and then we can reset it back after like 10 minutes has passed. Oh, that could be interesting. In that case, I probably would want to use Rust or Python or something like that in order to extract that value. Oh, and if I use Rust, I can use Serde to read the toml, because I bet there is a Serde toml that we can use. This might be better. Yeah, that might be better. Yeah, so Stacking, were you here last week? We figured out how to listen to the events from listen to events from Twitch so we can do this all automatically without my interaction. All right, so I think we're going to want to do this in a Rust program. Just because I do like your idea of making the change not permanent. So we're going to do more of a Rust script type thing. I guess not a script, like a program. Like just a standalone program runs for 10 minutes and then it's good. Or maybe runs for 30 minutes. I don't know. We'll have to figure that out. No way to do set inside of a Helix plugin. There is no such thing as a Helix plugin yet, unfortunately. I don't think so. Is there? I think they're still working on plugins, right? Yeah. Other different will be supported by a future plugin system. So yeah, plugins don't exist yet. Eventually, yes, I believe that will work, and then we'll be able to do something like that. But until then, we can't do that. So I have to do it manually. Otherwise, we have to do that through here, which kind of sucks. But it's all part of the fun, right? We don't know when that's going to be though. Like it could be a long time before they have the plugin system ready to go. Okay, so let's create what should we call this? This should be change Helix change Helix theme. Let's make sure we have the latest Rust. Oh, I installed nightly at some point in time. So every time we run this command, there's going to be something for it. All right, so I'm going to do a cargo new. This is going to be a... Okay, so we have a choice here. This is going to be a binary. Oh, I do want to run it locally to make sure it works. But then we can also pull in the part that actually makes it run from another program, and that should work too. Okay, so cargo new, change Helix theme. Do I want to potentially make this... Do I want to potentially put this onto the store? I don't think so. I think that'll just be like, hey, just make sure this program exists and is downloaded. All right, so make sure that you run, you compile, everything's happy. We get our hello world. All right, so let's jump in here to, where do I want to go with it? Let's do the main work in the library. And what do I want to do here? I want to probably have a run. I don't think this is going to have to be asynchronous. I think everything here can be asynchronous here. So we're going to have a pub function run. I'm going to also just call it change theme. Again, it just does the thing, right? And so also in main, I want to run that. Okay, so I want to, maybe we'll just do a debug for right now. So changing Helix theme. There, and we can now see, okay, we're successfully calling the function. Great. All right, what are the steps that we need to do for this? We can write it down as like fake function calls, right? Or at least comments. So I want to probably get the current, load the current config toml. So load current config file. We need to save current theme. I want to load the current config toml, save the current theme, change the theme, save config file again. Save the config file, restart Helix. It's not really Helix, pkill Helix. All right. I mean, oh, and probably announce that it was done. Oh, then do I want to reset it back? I don't know. Maybe I don't. We're going to start with that. Okay, load the current config file. I don't know if I want to do this as like, if I just run it, that's kind of like a test. Loading a full file is it just is going to be on its own thing. So it's just going to load Helix config. We are probably going to return a string of the Helix that's coming back. And I probably need to know where this is. So right now, we're probably going to have to just support Max only. So, okay, so currently we're supporting Helix on Mac. I guess and Linux, right? Which stores the config at... Oh, ad just started. Sorry about that. Starting it. Yeah, that's true. We could just do that. Helix on Starnix. Which adds home directory or relative home directory dot config helix config.toml. In the future, we could potentially support alternate locations of where to grab it. And maybe to support that, we can have the location of the config file. So we can have config. Oh, you're in. Yeah, ad break started. Which of course you can't hear me. Well, I guess YouTube, you can hear me, and VOD watchers, you can hear me. Welcome back, Twitch. Sorry about that. I saw the ad break notice. I'm like, I have a little bit of time to warn you, and then I forgot. Okay, so load Helix config. Okay, so basically we'll be supporting Helix on Starnix, which stores the config at home directory .config helix config.toml. But I'm also thinking that we can pass in the config location, the config path, which could be a stir. And then we can load up the file. So I want to load the file here, right? So that being said, is there a serde toml that will load up the file for me? See instead toml. You know what we probably want to do? I probably want to just go to Serde. And they have a book, don't they? Kind of. They have, yeah, serde.rs. And in here, oh, that S just opens up the side. I'm so used to, in Rust things, S opening up like a search. That opens up the size too. Okay, that's too bad. Serializing. Okay, do you have toml? Toml, okay. Okay, create toml. So that's all I want, just toml. A Serde compatible toml parsing library. Okay, and I don't think they have anything that's going to grab it from a file, so we have to grab that ourselves. Okay, so I don't think we want include stir because that file's located relative to the current path. This includes it at compile time, but I need to do this at runtime. So we need to do the good old load a file. So function. I guess that's really what this is doing, isn't it? All right, so let's see if I can remember how to do this off the top of my head. We have remute our file handler. What's this macro? Oh, expands to the file name in which it was, okay, that's not what I want. We have file. I want to open a file. So it attempts to open a file in read-only mode. And then the path. Oh, I probably want this to be a path buff. And the config path result, which means I want to add in a result here. While we're at it, let's also add in toml. And probably serde. and get in that Serde derive too. Limanox, hello. Hey, hey. How are you doing today? I'm doing pretty good. All right, so we need to restart our LSP. And then we can change you with a result from error. And it'll be a string from here. You're doing good, watching streams, customizing Postgres and stuff. Nice. I've never really done much customizing with Postgres. I've always just sort of used whatever is given to me. And then I just like for production type stuff, I used managed Postgres, which is like they do all the customizations for me. You made Postgres search queries sub milliseconds. Nice. I do enjoy always hearing about like how those happen, which always are pretty nice. All right, context. We are opening file, opening config file, opening Helix config. Okay, so we have that. Then we have our file here. I want the create a new empty string, and then I want to file. I think it's read to string, right? Read all the bytes. Yeah. So we're just going to read the entire config file into config. And then you wait, what am I doing? Wait, stop. Do what I really want, not what I'm typing. On 2.5 billion rows of data. It was a nightmare. It took like 3 months of experimenting, doing some Rust magic and binary indexes. Oh, nice. Okay, so this is going to be reading. The other one was opening, right? So this is now reading Helix config file to string. Okay, so we have you, and then we return you, and now you're not used, so we can now replace you with. So our config file is load Helix config, and we have to have the path of where this comes. And perhaps this is where main comes in. And I have our config path come in here like you, hand it the config path, and you need to return a result. Which I don't know if I actually care about doing anything with you. So that's just going to be nothing. So we have our context. This is going to be loading the Helix config into a file. Okay, there we go. Step 1 done. We're close now, right? Is there a reason you went with Toml over Toml Edit? I didn't know that Toml Edit was a thing. Toml Edit is a thing? I was just thinking, oh, I'm just going to load up the file, Serde it, and then go. And Serde says Toml is the crate to use for doing Serde stuff with Toml files. That's the only reason why. Is Serde Edit better? toml edit. Yet another format preserving toml parser. This grid allows you to parse and modify toml documents while preserving comment spaces and relative order of items. Oh, the toml crate even... I only went this far into here. Oh, it's not? Okay, so it's not in here. I have to go to... Crate seems to be a little bit slow today. For format preserving edits or final control for over output, see toml edit. Okay, yeah. So this might be better for us to choose. Cargo uses toml edit. Oh, nice. That's even better. Well, I guess like that kind of makes sense, right? Toml edit is primarily tailored for cargo edit needs. That does make sense. And it's kind of what we're doing anyway. So that's going to be fine. Okay, so let's switch over to toml edit. Now for toml edit, do we even need to load a file anymore? It's like let toml. Yes, I do. So we need to load the file. So we have that now as a string. I can parse the document. Okay, wait. So toml edit. I get document and value, and that gives me parse on a string. Okay. So is that the toml underscore edit, right? Yeah. Do I have a remove cargo remove? Let's remove Serde. Yeah, I do. Okay, Serde. Is that the only one? And toml. Okay, so now that we have that, I load you up there, and I want to parse you into the appropriate type. Now, this loads the file. So like load the Helix config. I want to parse it. So let our Helix config is going to be equal to config file. Oh, I need to restart LSP2. Okay, so I want to parse. I want to parse you into a document from toml edit. Ooh. Deprecated. Weh. Good to know. Let's see. Let's add a task in here to PR using document mute instead of document for toml edit. Okay, document mute. That's going to give me a result. Okay, so it can context you, and this is going to be I guess like just parsing. So parsing config file into editable format. Okay, so we now have you. Now, I could toString it, but that's not really going to be helpful. I want to make a change to this. Okay, what can I do? Like, okay, save save current theme. So I want to get the current theme. So do I want to? Sure. Let's grab the current theme out of it. So let current theme is going to be, okay, so can I get this Helix config dot okay, so there's as item, as table. They're like, okay, get values, get key values for values that are visually children of this table. Key returns an accessor to the key's formatting. Oh, wait, I saw get. Returns an optional reference to an item given the key. I think that's just going to be it, right? Because I don't see this actually getting something, right? Like this gets us you. We parse it. We assert that it's equal to the string. Let's add a new key value pair. Auto format it. And expect, okay, so this is just updating it. This is not getting something. Let's see if get just sort of does what I expect it to. And the key is going to be theme. Now I want, if this doesn't work, I want it to fail, right? So let's context. Attempting to get current theme. That gives us an item. Can I debug the current theme? I can. Okay. So then we're going to jump into main. And we need a path. So this is going to be the config. So Helix config path. Now I could do new. Okay, so we could do new. And I immediately push something like that. And I guess we will unwrap you for right now, but later on I want to handle you properly. What are you upset about? You need to be a reference. Oh, path. Okay, so I need to do that. Make you mutable. Yeah, probably from is a little bit better, isn't it? Also, I wonder if I can do into as well. You know what? Let's try that. Because I bet I could just do path new, right? Path. Oh yeah, because I can just do two path both on this. Okay, so path. Is it from new? Yeah. Okay, so We do that. Okay. And that should work now. You don't need to be mutable anymore. Oh, you change the function and take a path. Yeah, that also makes sense too. Because we're not using path buff. That's like a not really helpful. Okay. If I need a path buff to do something with it, then we'll do that. You need a path too. Okay. All right, so I should be able to run this now. And we'll see if this works. Oh, error. Loading a Helix config into a file caused by opening Helix config. No such file or directory. Okay, well, that obviously is a problem. And now if I want to, like, bat, for example, if I do config Helix config.toml, that is there. Okay, so I wonder if I need to give it a fully qualified path, like not a reference. Reference? No, that's the wrong word. Not a relative path, but a full path. I bet I do need to do that. I bet then I should probably do something where I have like a config file or something, or take in an argument, which makes more sense. If I wanted to just test that right now, though, I could say / users Zerker, go from there. Okay. So current theme value. Okay, so it's a value string formatted value I divide a dark. Okay, nice. Yeah, I don't think I have the 2-path buff now in there, do I? No, oh wait, I do. Is there a way, let's see. Is there a way for me to get the current home directory from path? Like, can I say path? Ooh, I don't know if I can do that. So I think what I should do is use a CLI library to pull in this from the command line, if we're calling this from main. Otherwise, I probably need to call this in from an environment variable. That could work too. The environment variable actually might be really nice, because then I can just use, yeah, let's use environment variable for this. If I touch .env, now so far nothing is going to be secret in here, but just because .env is always scary. Yeah, now .env doesn't exist in there, which is fine. I'm going to open .env. I think that's where I'm supposed to be. And we're going to add in Helix config path. And I believe we have to give this as a full, yeah, we have to give it as the full. So users berserker config helix I want to run this at runtime, most likely. So we're just going to add .env. Okay, so loads the .env file. And then we don't care if it errors out or not. We'll be fine with that. Because you might run this with actually that in there already. All right, ad break starting again in 30 seconds or so. So we'll do a stretch break during them. Okay, so if we have that, now I want to get, so I want the Helix. So config I mean, probably what I want to do is like something that's impl into it instead of like a path like this. Then I want a yeah, I don't want to I want that. env. What are you? Are you a function? No, it's env var, isn't it? The var is going to be, I forgot what I wrote into it. Helix config path. Okay, your results. So I want to expect you error loading Helix config. Make sure there is an environment variable named okay, so if we do you, all right, stretch break. We have ads are running for Twitch people. I wonder if I want to just impl into path. And then it'll just turn it into the path. The value for the size for values of type U8 cannot be known at compilation time. Oh, really? Wait a second. Path can't be created like that? Asref path. Marilo, hello. How are you doing today? Asref path. Okay, so impl asref path or no? Impl asref. Like that, right?